Jora, where you at? You eating your food? Jora, this video is supposed to be about you. You gotta be here. Where's my Roxy? This is about you too. Are you coming up? Well, get on up here. All right, we're so excited to be here. I know you're here. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So basically I had this exact same video, I had it filmed about a week ago, and they're not going to be still for this video, I promise. I had this whole video filmed last week, and unfortunately, as soon as I literally plugged it up to the computer to look back at all the footage, it was not in focus. Can't talk. I can't talk. It wasn't in focus on me, on my dogs. It was off. And so I got really upset about that because it's really hard refilming something that you spent like 20 minutes trying to film and just come up with on the top of your head, just because you got to do it all over again and kind of remember everything that you said. So here I am trying to do it. My video would have been posted last week as promised, but I had to kind of get over my pride of redoing this one. So here we go. Basically what today's video is going to be about is my two doggies, which you can't really see right now because now they're laying down and the way I have the camera set up, but I figured if it was closer to my face, it'd be easier to focus on. Here you turd, why are you being so... They want to see you. They want to see you. So I got two doggies. I got one of them back in 2016, my Roxy girl, and then I also got Jora back in 2019, so he is almost 3 this year. What are you doing? Why don't you join me? So I guess we'll just start with Roxy right here. Why don't you sit up? Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Yeah. So we'll start with Roxy here. I got her back when I was a senior in high school, and I never really did a video on her in the past years. But she is, if you can't tell, the biggest cuddle bug, the biggest love bug. She's got these natural sad eyes that make you feel bad no matter what the situation is. You can't yell at her. If you yell at her, she'll get scared and pee. But we love her that way. So with Roxanne, I actually adopted her. I found her ad on Pet Finder, and it was about 30 minutes away from my home. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I needed her. I was like, she looks amazingly sweet. She just had a litter of puppies at the rescue because she was found dumped on the streets, pregnant, and all of her toenails and stuff were painted. So she had an owner, and the rescue found the owners, and they didn't want her back. So now she's mine. Roxanne is probably around, when was that, 2016, mental math. I'm thinking she's about 8 years old. When we got her, we just kind of had to estimate that she was about a year or so old. No, probably not 2, but in between 1 and 2. Way too young to be having puppies, in my opinion, too. I got one of those embark tests done on her about a month or 2 ago, about 2 months ago, before I moved. And the results came back, and I always thought that she was like 50% or more Rottweiler, but I knew she wasn't purebred Rottweiler just because she's got a really tiny head and some white spots like on her chest and her toes, which doesn't typically run in Rottweilers, and I just figured that she definitely had something else in her. But it turns out that she is 50% Rottweiler. I could probably pull up a picture right here of what it looks like when they give it to you, give you your results on Embark, but 50% Rottweiler. I think it was like 33.33% Mountain Cur, which I have never even heard of that breed before until those results came in. And then the other whatever percentage, it is like a super mutt is what they call it. So one of her parents was like super mutt, and then somehow they down the line popped out this big grizzly bear. He's a big grizzly bear. Now with her, she's funny. She's a very funny dog because she's got this thing with touch. She loves touch. Talking to different vets, they think it's called trancing, what she does, and on my Furbo, I caught some pretty good footage of her demonstrating what she likes to do. We have an ironing board right next to me, and there's this piece of string that kind of dangles down from it, and she likes to just crawl underneath it just so the string touches her back, and then she'll turn around and do it again and again and again. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yes, I'm talking about you, you love bug. But she likes to do her trancing things. She'll do it with anything that hangs off of the ironing board, whether it's shirts or jackets or clothes that's being ironed. But she is one funny puppy. And then Jorah, come here, Jorah. It's your turn, because you've got quite the story to tell. So you better get up here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is Jorah, the little squirrel, the squirming squirrel. He's roughly like 5 pounds. Now Jorah is the very first dog that I got on my own without any permission. He is amazing. He's weird. He's definitely a one-of-a-kind Yorkie that I don't think I've ever met a Yorkie like with a personality that he has. So Jorah's story, it's a little bit longer and more intricate because I've had him when he was 6 months old when I got him, and he has literally put me through the ringer for the past like 3 years he's been alive. He has been doing the weirdest stuff right now. Let me see if I can catch it on video and I'll add it in here, because this is what he does too. What? Can I help you? What's wrong? What were you just doing? Okay. So basically what you just watched just happened just now, and this is like a daily thing for him. He will rub his whole face and body all over whatever surface that he is on, whether it be Roxy's little saddle pad bed. He's on her other bed right now. He'll do it all over the couch. And before you guys try to blow up the comments with, oh, he wants his harness off and he wants this and that off. No, this dog will do it. Does not matter if he's wearing clothes or not. He's absolutely naked. No, doesn't matter. He likes doing it. I think it's a different version of his trancing thing, but both my dogs are very goofy. And the only reason why he still has his harness on right now, it's usually off, is because I just went and took them outside. But anyway, back to Jorah's story. So when I got Jorah, I was in college, and again, I found his ad on Pet Finder because I was lonely, and a lot of my friends already graduated, so I would get lonely, and I would just browse all these different dogs and little dogs and stuff on Pet Finder, and I found him. And he looked so pathetically just miserable. He looked funny. And this was his picture of his ad that I still have saved, and it doesn't look anything like him anymore. He was 6 months old here. He's a lot blacker in this picture, but now he's kind of, his hair is grown out into a more silver tone. But I went and I got him from this old lady running her own rescue, it looked like. To be honest, it looked like it was kind of getting out of hand for her. I think she was trying to do good by the rescue. It was getting out of hand. He was in one of the cages outside with a bunch of other little dogs, and there were just cages everywhere, and it was cold. I got him on Halloween. I adopted him, and I know it wasn't a puppy mill thing because it wasn't all, like she was breeding dogs and all these dogs were spayed and neutered. Like I got him and he was already neutered. Jorah, stop eating stuff off the ground. Come here. Hey. Don't give me that look. Come here. He is also one of the most stubborn dogs in the whole world. He's very smart and he loves me very much, I promise, but sometimes he just looks at me and he goes, no, I don't have to. What are you gonna do, spank me? No. Anyway, with Jorah, so I brought him home. It was a 2-hour car ride back to my apartment, and of course he pukes in my lap on his way. What? So he pukes on my lap on, Jorah? No, he pukes on my lap about, what was it, 20 minutes into the ride? He was terrified, shaking, and and he was just on my lap, terrified, and he puked a lot. So that told me that he ate probably right before I got him. And he doesn't even have car sickness problems or anything. He never does that. He likes riding in the car with me. He's got his own little car seat in my little 2-seater car, but I think he was just scared. So whenever I brought him home, his personality was kind of coming out. He was still really anxious and nervous. 6 days later, I'm napping on my bed, and he's on my bed with me, and I fell asleep. And then he decides to chew through my electric blanket cord. And now my electric blanket was not plugged in, or no, it was plugged in, but it wasn't turned on. But because it was plugged in, there was still a lot of voltages going through the wire. And because of that, it resulted into, well, I woke up, not even to any crying or anything. He was laying down on the floor in his bed, and his face was swollen. So I looked at him and I was like, what's wrong? Like, I thought he like literally got a hold of a bee or something. That's what it looked like. I might have pictures, and if I do, I will continuously be like rotating them right here. First thing I decided to do was give him a bath, because he's still like fluffy. It was hard to tell like how much swelling there was. So I gave him a bath to mat all his hair down, and his face was like super blown up. So immediately I like dried him off real quick, or at least I dried his body off, because it was, again, it was Halloween, or no, it was already December at this point. No, it wasn't. It was like the first week of November in Missouri, so it was super, super cold. Then I put him in the car and I rushed him 2 minutes down the street where I lived by the emergency hospital, Mizzou's University Emergency Vet Hospital. And I didn't even know at that point what it was, what happened. I was too worried about him. So after figuring it out, after the doctors and the nurses were examining him, I figured it out, and I was like, you know what, because they mentioned an electrical shock, and I was like, I have a lot of computer wires in my room. He never demonstrated like signs of being a chewer though, but I guess I was wrong, a sneaky chewer. So I was like, it could be any of those wires, but it's most likely the electric blanket wire that was on my bed when I fell asleep. It wasn't turned on, but it was plugged in. And sure enough, when I went home eventually, I did find the wire. It was like busted open and like very active, so I unplugged it and threw it away. But because of that, he had to have a $5,000 surgery. It cost $400 a night to stay. Was it four? It was either 400 or 600, but I want to say it was 400 bucks a night to stay at the hospital, and he was there for 6 nights. So you can do the math. The whole bill ended up being about $5,000. And then now he has a souvenir hole in the side of his face, which you can't even see. No one can tell. It's pretty small, but if you're looking at it at an angle, you can tell that, yeah, he doesn't have, you probably won't be able to see it. I'll just put pictures in. But he's got a hole in his face now, and he acts like nothing's wrong though. It took him about a month to recover. I had to tube feed him because he had a tube coming out of his neck for a while he stayed at home with me. So I had to tube feed him. That was a whole procedure. And then he finally grew his hair kind of back and it healed up. You were such a weirdo. But luckily he's okay. And again, this is the most like resilient dog ever, but he likes to get in the biggest trouble that he could possibly get in. So I have more stories. After that whole debacle thingy was finally settled down, took him to a dog park. And at this dog park, he decided to snag his nail on the turf, and it ripped his whole nail out. Well, it was dangling, so there's blood everywhere. Rushed him to the ER vet, and this wasn't in Columbia anymore, but I rushed him to the nearest ER vet, and they ended up just taking the whole nail off, and his hand was wrapped up in a cast for like a week, and I kept having to put some like ointment on it. I think it's grown back by now. That was maybe like 6 months ago or more, like close to a year ago, but I'm pretty sure his nail's back by now. And then after that, there was an incident where he was outside, spotted a wasp. This dog is interested in anything and everything that moves and breathes and has a heartbeat. if wasps have hearts, I don't know. But he saw a wasp, thought it'd be fun to chase this wasp. It ended up stinging him in the paw and I think in the mouth. So he got rushed to the ER vet again because nobody, like, dogs react differently to different kinds of stings, bee stings, wasp stings. And I didn't know if it was gonna kill him or something, so I ran him to the vet. And all of these like ER visits, like the past one and this one, they were like $200, $300 just to make sure he was okay. But he is literally crazy. He's got the funniest, quirkiest personality. I wish you could literally see all of this going on right now. He's just rubbing his whole body all over the couch, and he loves scratches, he loves walks, he likes going to the dog parks. Now with Jorah, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure if he is purebred Yorkie. I'm led to believe that he is a purebred Yorkie because who was potentially like a puppy mill bust. What? You are just so squirmy. You won't let anyone see you. I think he came from like a puppy mill bust, and that's how the rescue got him, because to me, I've had Yorkies since I was a little kid, and he's obviously got the colors and the size, and I think he could be a mixture of some kind of little party Yorkie because he's got a white chest, white, like super white belly kind of, and the top of his head is very, very white. It's not tan like the parts of the sides of his face, but the top of his head is white. But he's got very Yorkie ears, a very Yorkie build. He's got kind of a long back. It makes him look a little bit like a ferret sometimes, the way it arches up. I'm just kind of led to believe that he was probably a purebred from Don't You Do It. I just took you out, sir. Do it again. I dare you. And yes, my dog is bell trained. He lets me know when he has to go out. Which is very, very nice. Roxy here, she just kind of goes out on a schedule. Anytime I say her name, her butt starts wagging even like faster. She's more of on a schedule. She can hold her pee and stuff longer than Jorah can, so he lets me know. And anytime I take him out, I take her out too. But yeah, because you're a good girl. You're a good girl. So that's basically the story of my two doggies, how I got them and what their personalities are kind of like, and expect way more videos in the future of my dogs because clearly they are being camera shy right now. Jorah is usually the star of the show, but he's just doing his own thing right now. But I'll have many more videos of me and my dogs and all the other animals that I have still. But you guys just let me know what you want to see. I just figured I should introduce these guys since you guys have never met these guys, and I have one more pet that you guys haven't met either. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave some comments in below. Let me know what kind of dogs you have, or if you don't have dogs, or what kind of pets that you got, or how you got them. I don't know, just talk about your pets in the comments because I like reading that kind of stuff. But as always, I apologize for this video being a week late. I'm gonna try and not do that so often anymore unless something comes up. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and letting me introduce my pets to you, and just let me know what you guys want to see. I got some ideas cooking up. I'd rather know what you guys are wanting to see. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time. But